Hey everybody, I know it's been a while. I'm catching up on Love and Hip Hop New York and Black and Crew Chicago. I was in so much pain last Monday, so that's why I didn't get to do the review. So I'm just gonna I'm catching up before tomorrow. So this is Love and Hip Hop New York season 6 episode 2. So I'll just get into it and talk about each person. It was about last week. So we finally meet Miss Cardi B. And I said on my Twitter, she is the right amount of ignorance. She is like the perfect person for this circus of a show. And Cardi B reminds me of Jocelyn from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. But the only difference is we can actually understand Cardi B. Cardi B is like very turned up. And I need for Cardi B to turn down just a tad. I would like to see the real Cardi B on Love and Hip Hop New York, but I digress. I don't know. So we finally meet her, and she's working at Lust, and she's like, I'm Cardi B. I'm just a regular, schmegular girl from the Bronx. I be dancing all over the world, hosting all over the world. I'm just trying to get this money and turn up. I'm like, oh my God. She's gonna give me a headache every week. But you know what? I like Cardi B, but she is a lot. She is too much, but I like her. It's something about her that I like, but she is too much. But anyway, so DJ Self is there, and her and Self meet up, and they're discussing business, and Self is like, she wants to be an artist, but she's a stripper, and I'm just trying to help her out. But basically, it's made to be seen that Self is attracted to Cardi B, or he wants to get with Cardi B in some way. I don't really know how much I believe this storyline, because I remember reading, like when they were doing the promos for this season of Love and Hip Hop, someone was saying that Cardi B and Self aren't even together. Like, they don't really even, know each other like that. Like, this is just for TV. It's just a storyline. It's not real. And I mean, naturally, a lot of the storylines that happens on these shows are not real. Some of them are real. Like Remy and Papoose, Yandy and Mendices, like, that's real life. But I feel like Cardi B and DJ Self, like, their storyline is just making me like, now that I kind of feel like I know the truth, it's like, but I mean, who knows, but it's a scripted show anyway. We know it's scripted. They say it's situational, but we know it's scripted. I know certain parts of it is scripted, made for like entertainment. But anyway, so, Cardi is just like, Self is a good dude, but I don't like that he's always lying to me, and I just want him to be honest. And she's telling him, like, you're mad fake. You don't keep it real with me, and that's why my dude in jail is a better dude than you are, and treating me, and blah, blah, blah. So, they're hugging and they're talking and whatnot. So when DJ Self is at home, or whatever, he's FaceTiming Cardi, and she's on the phone like so she's like, you'll be at Lust, right? I see you at Lust. And he like, yeah, I'll be at Lust. And he was like, hold on, my man is calling me. And then he hung up on her. Soon as he did that, his girlfriend Yorma comes downstairs, and she's like, who's you talking to on the phone? He was like, oh, nobody, blah blah blah. So she's like, he's asking her, like, what you been up to or whatever. And she's like, well, why don't you tell me who you had over here this weekend? He's like, what you mean? She's like, because I found this ring in the shower. DJ Self is trying to convince us in a confessional that it's the cleaning lady's ring. But as he's sitting there trying to tell Yorma that he didn't have a girl in the house, he's laughing about it, which, that's a lie. You can tell that's a lie in itself. And while he's doing it, Yorma's getting hysterical. Who ring is this? Who did you have over here? You telling me a lie? You laughing in my face? This is not funny to me. Oh my God. Like, you saying that you don't mess with other bitches, but I know that you do. I know that there's other women around here. Call me a cab, because that's all I got to say to you. Like, who did you have in the house this weekend? And I'm just like, girl, just kill the dramatics. Like, really, just kill the dramatics. Because he's sitting there and he's laughing in your face with everything that you're saying. He's sitting there laughing in your face, and basically making it seem like you're crazy for assuming what you're assuming. And then she's like, I'm gonna put this ring on Instagram, and I'm gonna say, whoever owns this ring, tag yourself or the person who owns it. And he's like, don't do that. She said, okay, so then put me on Instagram and say I'm your girl. What you hiding? What you hiding? Don't be hiding. Don't be hiding nothing. And he's like, I don't even speak Spanish. Trust me, I don't know what she said. That's why I just did the gibberish. But yeah, I'm like, you are like mad hysterical for like, I'm not even saying, like, she was too much. And then DJ Self idiotic behind is sitting up here making it worse. And then he really trying to convince us that it was the cleaning lady's ring. And the only thing that I was thinking the whole entire time he was saying that that ring was the cleaning lady's was, why the you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Like, that's what I was thinking in my head. Because I'm like, so the cleaning lady just gonna leave her jewelry laying around in the shower, of all places, whatever. So it ended on that note. Anyway, let me see. Remy and Pap. Remy meets up with Rashida. She's supposed to go shopping with Rashida, but Rashida ended up being 2 hours late. So they're sitting discussing Rashida with the BBOD girls, and early on Rashida had a meeting with BBOD and was telling them that she was disappointed in the whole fight with Young B, telling them that it wasn't the place for Mo to confront Young B. So Mo was like, well, when am I going to see her again? And she's like, okay, I'm putting my name on the line for y'all, and you can't be turning up acting crazy in these streets because people are not going to want to hire you. So as she's trying to tell Mo this, Mo is just going left, like, you know, I'm just trying to defend myself and blah, 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 blah. And Mo was like, okay, you know, Rashida was basically telling Lexi that Lexi needs to go solo because Mo is going to, like, hold her back from getting into the industry. So Mo felt the kind of way about it. And Mo was like, well, if that's how you feel, then maybe you should manage her and I'll get my own manager, because at the end of the day, you work for us. And that cipher is about the only thing that you have done for us since managing us in the months that you managed us. So I'm sitting here like, okay, that may be so, but in this industry, you have to pick and choose your battles. And that Gwenin cipher was to promote y'all and to get like a buzz going on with y'all. You cannot pick a fight with someone with all of these potential people who may want to work with you, who are in the audience, who are scouting for talent. You can't turn up at this event and then expect for people to want to work with you after they see how much of a hothead you are. And I mean, each time Rashida was trying to tell her like this, like, you need to calm down, she getting the attitude of Rashida. And I'm like, girl, your career is going to go down the toilet because you don't listen. And that's what you have to do in the industry of music and in life, period. You have to listen. You don't always have to defend yourself, and you don't have to entertain every argument you're invited to. You know, sometimes you just got to say, okay, and keep it moving. So, you know, Ra and Remy are talking about that, and, you know, Ra is basically like, you know, I love Lexi, that's my heart, but Mo, she just doesn't listen. She just, you know, she pop off first and then ask questions later. It's just too much. So Remy was like, well, you know, I have news. Me and Pap want to talk, you know, we doing baby talk, saying we want to have more babies. And then I told him, well, if you want a baby, I want a wedding. So we have a wedding to plan, and Rashida's all excited or whatever. So Remy asked Rashida if she could be a part of the wedding. So Rashida was like, I would love to be. But sidebar, I was thinking this, what happened to Rashida and her wedding? Did she ever get married? Does anybody know that? If you do, can you leave it in the comments? Because I remember she was preparing for a wedding, season 3 and part of season 4 of Love and Hip Hop New York, and then we never heard about her wedding again. And then I don't see her wearing her ring, so I'm hella confused. Can somebody let me know what happened with her and her engagement, her wedding, whatever? But yeah, so Pap and Remy meet up in the studio. First of all, Papoose is a beast. I've only heard Papoose on one song, and it was Touch It Remix. And his verse is my favorite, one of my favorite verses on Touch It Remix. Especially when he was like, got Staten Island on my pinky, Queens on my thumb, dude. The Bronx on my middle my middle finger screaming, fuck you. Rock Ice in Manhattan, so they the ring finger. You know I gotta keep Brooklyn on the trigger finger. That is my favorite, one of my favorite verses on that song. But I did not know. Well, I mean, I saw him and Remy Ma last year at the Cypher on the BET Hip Hop Awards. But I did not know that Papoose had a flow like that. I don't really listen to Papoose's music. I haven't really heard much. But the Touch It Remix was the song that I heard him on the first time. And then seeing him on this episode of Love and Hip Hop, I was like, dang, this dude can rap. Why is he so underrated? Because he can rap. That's why he's underrated. Because, you know, it seems like the music industry ain't looking for talent. They looking for, you know, whatever's generic, whatever is just popular at the moment. But Papoose can rap. I think he put out mixtapes. I don't know. I gotta do my research. Because I know, like, I've heard buzz in the streets about Papoose, but I've never really heard, like, a full-on mixtape or something with him on it or whatever. But I mean, I guess with Love and Hip Hop, this will help him get some exposure as well. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. Him and Remy are in the studio and they're discussing the wedding, and Remy tells Pap that she asked Rashida to be a part of the wedding. So Pap automatically is like, you know, he's not too happy about it. And Remy is like, well, what are you making that face for? And Pap is like, well, you know, I just want you to be careful about who you have in your circle. And Remy is like, I know you feel like she wasn't there when I was locked up. And he was like, well, it's not even about me feeling that way because she wasn't there when you were locked up. I just want you to be careful about who you're allowing in your circle, because the last time you had a friend like that, they were bringing friends around who weren't your friend, hence why you ended up in jail doing all that time. I just want you to be careful. And she was like, well, I just don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be paranoid and not allow a person to get close to me. He was like, well, you just got to keep it very family orientated. So he was telling her that they need to meet and speak with the kids, his daughter DJ and her son Jace, because DJ is like wilding out and, you know, they're both acting unruly. But it mostly has to do with the fact that Remy went to prison. So they meet up and they have a little family meeting. And they discuss DJ and her fight, and DJ is like, oh my god, I got into a fight because I was defending myself. And they were like, every single time you get into a fight and something happens to you, you were always defending yourself. You can't always be defending yourself. So they're trying to tell her to like calm down. She's like, well, look at what example I got to follow, bow. I mean, look at you, like bow. And Remy is like, do as I say, not as I do. I, for one, hate that saying. Because you can't tell a child to do something that they see you doing. Your actions have to speak louder than your words. So you have to lead by example with your kids. Your kids watch every single thing you do. They are parrots. They watch and observe every single you do. Every single thing you do. So you have to watch what you say and you do around them, because they feel like, well, my mother do it, my father do it, why I can't do it? So they'll get that together. And then Remy was saying that her son is, you know, he blocked the both of them on they social media accounts, and she feels like they're, you know, probably being sneaky. And he's like, I'm not being sneaky, you know, I just be chilling. She was like, when I was your age, I couldn't even close the door in my house. He was like, why I can't have my door closed? She was like, what do you have to hide? He's like, I ain't got nothing to hide, I just be chilling there. I'm like, see, this is the new generation. Because it was the same with me. I mean, I was allowed to have my door closed, and, you know, when I was living with my mom, but I didn't have a problem. Like, I have my mom as my friend on Facebook. You know, I don't have a problem. I don't have anything to hide. So it wasn't like I was being, you know, overly sneaky and not wanting to show my mother what I'm doing online. And I mean, social media didn't really start developing like until 2005, and the first thing I've ever had on social media was a Skonex account. and that was like a high school account. And then it went to MySpace. And then from MySpace, it went to Facebook. From Facebook, it went to Twitter. So all of these grew within each other. And I mean, my social media accounts, I had nothing to hide because I wasn't putting my business out there. And that's what's wrong with a lot of these kids. They need a censor. They don't know how to just keep private things private. You know, yeah, social media is all fun and games and you want to share your life, but watch what you're sharing with people because they will take that and throw it in your face later. So anyway, Remy and Papoose are just like, well, we want you to be a big part of our wedding day. Jace, I want you to walk me down the aisle. DJ, I want you to be the bridesmaid. So, you know, that was that. I love Remy and Papoose. They bring so much sanity to this. So Yandy meets up with Young B and basically tells her, I have decisions to make as far as you go with as being my artist. I don't want you getting into any shenanigans because, you know, money stopping for you stops for me. And I have kids to feed and, you know, I want to grind and I want to make money with you. But you gotta, you know, tone it down a bit. So Young B was like, I get it. You know, I refuse to let anybody pull me back to the person I used to be. That's a promise. And you know what? With Young B, I feel like she really, like, I feel like she's kind of going to be like the K Michelle of this season for the simple fact that she has the potential. And as we saw on the first episode, she has the skills. So all she has to do is ignore, you know, the buffoonery that comes her way and just focus on her music and she'll be fine. Okay. So in the next scene, we meet the infamous, you saying hi? We meet Richie Dollar's daughter for the first time, Ashley. You want to say hi too? Put your tongue in your mouth. So we meet Rich's daughter, Ashley, and it is said that she'll be staying with him temporarily. So, they're having a talk about rules and what to follow in the house. Go over there and play with it. Go play with it. So they're having a talk about rules and what to follow in the house. And Ashley made it plain as day. Well, Rich was like that she needs to do chores. Yeah. Like stop, MJ. Like she needs to take out the trash. She needs to wash dishes. She needs to sweep and all of that. So Ashley is like, well, sweeping and taking out trash and all that, that's a man's job. So he's like, so she's like, well, I have rules too. You have to chill on 79 Gold for a little bit. I'm your number one priority and you can't have any women over. So he said, okay, I'm going to take one of your rules and flip it. You can't have any boys over. She's like, I don't know any boys over here. So it went from that to him asking her about her boyfriend that she had back at home. And she said that they're not together anymore. So he was like, well, he was 17. Isn't it illegal for y'all to be dating for each other? And she's like, no. Yep. And he's like, are you a virgin? And she's like, Dad? And he's like, no, seriously, are you a virgin? She's like, no. And I'm like, this is the most awkward conversation ever. So he's like, she just dropped a bombshell on me. So they had a talk. And, you know, he's like, I would never want her to go out and meet any dudes like me. Because, you know, I'm a creep. And I would never want her to come across dudes like me. So they're getting emotional during this talk. And this is the side of Rich I like to see. Not what I've been seeing all these other seasons. He's been a prick. The other seasons, he's been a creep. He's been a dirtball. But this side of Rich, I like to see. And it looks like he really, like, you know, at least he owns up to the fact that he is a creep and that he doesn't want his daughter to be with any guy that's like him. So I could give Rich that. And this scene with him and his daughter, they're both emotional. I really, like, felt it and I really liked it. And I hope this is the Rich we get to see the rest of this season. So then Rich meets up with his mother of Ashley's mom and they're talking. And he's like, you know, she's super religious and she's telling him that she wants to go to DR, Dominican Republic, for a mission and she wants to dedicate 2 years to it. So she's asking Rich if Rich could keep Ashley permanently until she gets back at least. So Rich is like, yeah, I'll do it, you know. And he's like, well, you know, we had a talk and she told me she's not a virgin. And she's like, oh my God, now I'm not even sure if I should go to DR to deal with her. And he was like, well, you know what? It was only one time. Kids experiment. That's what they do. But our talk assured me that, you know, she doesn't want to make mistakes when it comes to boys on that part. So Rich was like, but by the way, she did lose her virginity on your watch. So I'm like, wow, he is a fool. But I really like that scene with Rich and the mother of his child and his daughter. Like that was like a real scene, like real life. And kudos to Rich for showing us the grown man side of him instead of the buffoonery we've been seeing all 5 seasons of Love and Hip Hop New York and one little teensy season of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. But kudos to Rich. I'm proud of him for that. So Tara, Amina, and Peter. Okay, first of all, Amina meets up with Tara at the pier and she's working out and she's asking Tara all these questions about Peter. And Amina is like, I haven't seen Peter. No, not necessarily. He has not been at my house, blah, blah, blah. So Tara is like, I'm not going to tell Amina what's going on between me and Peter. That's Peter's problem, and he needs to tell her. She was like, I have no claim to this man, but I will not let Amina know that. So Amina is like, well, instead of you saying, not necessarily has he been with you, you could have just said no. So I'm thinking that y'all are messing around. So Tara is like, well, Peter lies a lot and we both want the truth for him, but you know how Peter is. And Amina is like, well, I love him and blah, blah, blah. She was like, well, you got with a man who had a family and you thought because you loved him, that gave you a pass to be effed up, but it doesn't. And she's like, no, I don't think it gave me a pass. It's just that I love him. It happened. So, I just want to know what's going on between y'all. Tara's like, nothing's going on between us. And basically, I guess Amina was like, me and him are still together or whatever. So I guess Peter's still telling Tara something else and Amina something else. So anyway, towards the end, they all meet up. And Tara's basically like, the only reason why I moved here is because you said that you and Amina weren't together. So Amina is like, we are together. I didn't break up with you. You didn't break up with me. We're still together. He's like, well, I said it feels like we're not together. So Peter is like, like basically stumbling, trying to find a lie. And Tara was like, I would have never agreed to move in here had I known that y'all was still together. My whole thing is, why would you agree to move in the same apartment building as your baby daddy and his wife? You should already know that if Peter came up with the idea for you to do so, he probably, made it sound like something that it really wasn't. Like, he probably told Amina something totally different. Like, he probably gave her some BS reason as to why Tara should move in with them. And he used the kids as a pawn to say, oh, my kids need to be near their sister, so you need to move in the same building with me. Something like that. Some lame excuse he probably gave Tara as to why she should move into the condo with them, the building with them. And I'm like, Tara, you stupid for agreeing to it. Because if Peter really wanted Corey to be around her brothers, then he would have found a way to commute between you and Amina. If Tara lived in Manhattan, if Tara lived in Queens, they live in Yonkers. I'm pretty sure Peter has a car. One of them got a car. So he would have figured out how to get them kids to see each other and be around each other. So that's no excuse. You moving into the building with them just made matters worse. All Peter is doing is apartment hopping. He hopping from your bed to the bed with Amina. So you were stupid for agreeing to that. And then Tara basically laid it out on the table like, because Amina was like, I feel like you're still having sex with Peter. And Tara was like, no, you still want him. Y'all need to be together and be happy. And she's like, well, guess what, Amina? I will fuck him whenever I want to. And, because Tara basically put it out there. Peter said that every time we talk, he said that you're a mistake that went too far. So that got Amina turned up. But Amina pissed me off when she said that she felt like this whole meeting was a plan for Tara to break her and Peter up. And I'm like, it wasn't no plan. It was to get the truth out because Peter is always lying. He is a habitual liar. So I'm like, you're stupid for sitting up here saying that she wants to break y'all up. She can't break up something. If it has a solid foundation, she can't break it up. So what are you talking about? I'm like, you are so gullible and so stupid sometimes. But anyway, so Amina gets mad, smacks Peter in the face, and says, you said you don't love me? You said I'm the mistake that went too far? Are you serious? So she smacked him upside the face and threw his phone at him and then dropped a bomb as she left. She said, by the way, I'm pregnant. and it ended right there. I'm like, this episode was just crazy. Like, everybody done lost their marbles. So, you know, next episode it continues. Mo and Mariah almost get into it over Cisco, Mr. Potato Head looking self. DJ Self is caught between Cardi and Yoma because Mariah invited Cardi to her birthday party, so Yoma and Cardi B get into a fight or whatever, and I'm like, Lord, this is just gonna be a ratchet mess next week, but I will be here to talk about it. Well, not even next week, tomorrow, but I'll be here to talk about it. But that was Love and Hip Hop New York, season 6, episode 2. So I'm gonna try and do Black Ink Chicago next, and I'll see you in that video, and then I'm gonna do Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I'm trying to catch up, y'all, because I know I'm behind on a lot, but gosh, I really was not feeling well last Monday, and then, you know, with the holidays and everything, I was like, let me just take a break. So, you know, I'll explain everything in my last vlog of 2015. So we'll talk then. See you guys later. Thank you for watching.